Alright everybody, it's kind of an overview of just the Fractal Design Focus G computer case. I got one in petrol blue, just came in the mail today. I've already unboxed it, but we're just going to kind of go over some of the features and some of the things in case you were considering this case. This is going to be for you. So, personally, I think it feels good. It was on sale for Newegg. From Newegg for $45, and it's got a very nice finish to it. It's kind of glossy in this blue color, and it's kind of metallic. I don't know if you can really see it. If you were thinking about this color, I thought it looked kind of like eggshell blue or something like that online. It actually looks really nice in person, almost kind of like grabber blue on the Ford Mustang, with just some kind of pearlescent tint to it. Of course, you got your power button, you got reset button, hard drive indicator, and microphone and headphones. Of course, USB 3.0 and normal USB port. This front panel right here is actually a metal kind of radiator type thing, or kind of a metal screen type pattern. So this is also plastic. This also pops off. Up here, you've got support for either a radiator for your AIO, for liquid cooling for your CPU, or you can do two 120s or 240 millimeter case fans. And 7 PCI slots. Power supply, of course, is mounted to the bottom. And I'm kind of doing everything in real time here instead of fancy editing, because I don't really have time for that. On the bottom you have a nice filter. This is actually a plastic filter, so when it gets dirty, you can actually just pull it out and just wash it off, which I personally like. And we'll go ahead and pop the case off, side of the case off here. Of course, I'm leaving the plastic on until I actually start my build. I'm starting a new build this year, and it's going to be an Intel rig most likely, and hopefully GTX 1080 graphics card whenever the prices decide to come down, which will probably never happen. But we'll go ahead and pop the side of the case off here. It actually pops up pretty easily, just these screws, and these screws actually stay in, which is nice. But you don't have to kind of slide the panel in on the sides, which is nice, because there's no catches. It just catches on this door, right, or catches on this front right here, which is fine, and you just push it on the side. Alright, let's set that to the side. Of course, full ATX. Well, it's mid-tower ATX, but it supports an ATX board. Of course, it will support micro ATX or mini ATX motherboards. Connectors here. Of course, you have the annoying power switch and LED and all that. You have USB 2.0 and your HD audio. Also USB 3.0. 220 millimeter fans pre-mounted in the front, which is very nice, and they are very nice fans. They feel very nice, and they are white LED fans. Of course, support for a radiator, and if you wanted to put a radiator here, there's actually a bracket built in for it, which is really nice. 2 5.25 inch drive bays. I play a lot of older games, and so I'll probably most likely mount in a DVD burner here. Of course, power supply would go right here. There's support for another fan, but I don't know with this hard drive cage if you will be able to actually mount a fan here or not. But I thought about mounting one here for a graphics card. It's an intake fan for the graphics card. But I'm definitely going to do 2 exhaust fans on the top and probably one here on the side, and this is 120 millimeter fan support. Of course, there's no Molex connectors, so these are kind of disappearing. So if you're wanting to mount a bunch of fans to your motherboard, you're probably going to have to use this fan splitter, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing. The hard drive cage is actually really nice. I'll probably only use an actual 1 terabyte hard drive, just a normal disk drive, to put in one of these bays. These bays they pop right out. And of course, you just install the hard drive right on there. It's really, really nice. Very nice fit and finish. Of course, we'll take this bottom one out here, and I'll show you what comes in this box. Bear with me, I've got got two hands here. Of course, you get zip ties, which is, and you get plenty of hardware, plenty of screws for hard drives and for 5 1/4 inch drives. Here's all your standoffs, and of course it comes with a standoff tool, which is nice, and other mounting brackets, other mounting screws. So put that back in there for now. Set that off to the side. Alright, we'll move on to the other side of the case, and I'm just going to go ahead and pop this off. Like I said, it pops off the same way. And another thing I've noticed about this case is for cable management, when you actually go to do cable management, there's a nice little kind of protrusion right here that'll help you actually that'll make cable management a lot easier. And of course, the inside's blue, and you won't be able to see much of it once it's built. But I'm probably going to actually polish this with some body shop compound that I use on cars and shine it up a little bit. So I'm kind of going to go with the blue and white theme as far as like RGBs and LED fans. Nothing too dramatic, but so I'll pop this off. Scar the table while I'm at it. Really nice valley right here. This would be really great for cable management. And of course, to run your CPU power connector from your power supply, just bring it up through here, ATX connector for your 24 pin. This is SSD mount right here. Now I'm going to use an M.2 SSD that mounts to the motherboard on my build. But if you wanted to do an SSD, like a normal SSD drive, there's a nice bracket right here that'll keep it hidden, keep it clean. And of course, you know, plenty of access right here for your SATA drives, normal disk drives. But I would pop this front panel off to show you more, but there's kind of a felt lining in here, and of course these pop out for your drives. If you wanted to do a card reader, an internal card reader, if you do photo editing, I do a lot of photo editing, so I'll probably end up doing that at some point. And of course, you know, for your DVD burner or Blu-ray burner, whatever you decide to put in here. If you decide to even put anything in here, a lot of people are kind of we're doing away with that, so it's up to you. Everything feels pretty solid. It's actually, for it to be a pretty solid case, it's actually extremely light. Of course, there's plenty of gap right here, so if you're worried about how you're going to mount your power supply, you shouldn't. Obviously, you should mount it fan down instead of fan up, where it's actually sucking in cool air versus blowing in hot air. Power supply, or the power button, feels very solid. It's a reset button, and it's got a nice shine to it. It looked kind of matte on the internet, but there's plenty of gloss to it, which is nice. I personally like it. So if you were considering this case, I would definitely say go for it. It's very inexpensive, very well priced, and I think it's an excellent case. Came very well packaged. Of course, the package, you know, FedEx kind of beat it up a little bit, but that is FedEx. No offense if anybody that's watching this works for FedEx. And Fractal Design is a Swedish company, and of course their Swedish engineering definitely shows off in this case. It is very, very nice, very clean, very minimalistic, but still very sharp at the same time. Pre-installed middle standoff for your motherboard, which I think is very nice. Help you center your motherboard a lot better. Of course, I don't know if you can see that. That's a Fractal Design logo, showing up pretty good. We'll rotate a little bit here so you can kind of see the front. Of course, those will be white LED fans. And some more specifications just right on the side of the box here. Of course, you have support for 2 3¼ inch or 3.5 inch hard drives, and you can also put 2.5 inch SSDs in there. There's one dedicated SSD position. That's the panel in the back that I showed you. It's got 7 PCI expansion slots. It supports all ATX, micro ATX, and mini ATX boards. It's got one USB 3.0, USB 2.0 audio in and out, and power button and reset button. It supports ATX PSUs, and supports pretty good sized graphics cards. I think that would support a 1080 Ti no problem if you can afford it with all the cryptocurrency mining going on. And CPU coolers, supports pretty good size CPU coolers. And honestly, it's mid-tower ATX case, but it's not that big. Like it doesn't feel huge. So, of course, cooling system had the 2 front white LED fans, 120mm. You got support for 2 120s or 2 140s up on the top, and one 120 in the back. And also front panel dust filter, which is built into the side. I didn't show you that because it takes 2 hands to get that panel off, because it's actually pretty well connected. And it supports up to 240mm or 280mm radiators. And at the top it supports 240, and the rear 120. And what's interesting about that is I don't know for sure once everything is in there if you can really see that good, if that can really support an entire full radiator system. It would remain to be seen, but I'm sure it could. But if not, you can definitely, there's plenty of room right here in the front to do that. Alright, well, that's my review of the Fractal Design Focus G case in Petrol Blue. And one more thing before I end this video. This is not a tempered glass case or a tempered glass side panel. That's my only real complaint about it, I think, is it'd be nice to have a tempered glass side panel, but you're going to have to pay a lot more money from another case manufacturer to get that. And I'm pretty sure Fractal makes some side glass panels. So like I said, I'm starting a new build, probably completed by next June, just because, unfortunately, stuff doesn't get sent free to me on YouTube. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not sponsored by Fractal Design or anybody. So I'm just a normal class working Joe, so I have to buy all my own parts. But it will be completed, and then I will have a series of videos over the next several months showcasing what parts I buy and doing some unboxings and some reviews and things. So you can stay tuned for that. And of course, you get a user guide. And I haven't really looked at it much, but it shows you kind of steps to build a computer, which, I mean, hopefully if you're buying a case, you already know how to do that. But it shows you the different filters and how everything else pops out. I said there's the radiator mount in the front and radiator mount on the top. Of course, there's the motherboard installation. It's in several different languages, so if English is not your primary language, you should be covered by this. And so, of course, support at Fractal Design North America, or America rather. And this is a warranty card, and just telling you what to do if you receive a faulty product. Stuff like a fan doesn't work, or if something's dented or scratched or whatever. And I think that'll be it. Hopefully you understood my Southwest Virginia accent, and if not, I'm sorry. But yeah, I think YouTube has subtitles, so hopefully it'll be able to translate it. But thanks for watching, guys, and if you have any questions, just post them in the comments below. Thanks.